And again, we have little blue stem. Those are actually have tags on them. They don't look like they're doing too well out here in the road. So when these go to seed again, I'll collect seed and I'll try to get them like back there around the rock. The vineyard was just cut yesterday. It looks really nice. I do have to get back in here before these weeds get any taller, the weeds in the rows, and spray this with glyphosate. The problem with that is at this time of the year, if there's suckers coming up and you spray them, the entire plant gets sprayed, and you definitely don't want that. So I sprayed these 2 days ago with straight mancozeb, and you could see it rained yesterday morning and it is still on them. It's got a sticker on them so it stays on up to a point. We have closed clusters all over the place, and it's not quite to the point. These shoots start getting heavy and then they go down, and you catch them on the catch wire down here. Hopefully that happens soon, because as you can see, the wind tends to twist everything, and then at some point before these have their full lignin, they'll just snap off, and a good wind, you'll find a whole bunch of them laying on the aisle in here, and that's not a good thing. You can lose a whole bunch of your crop that way. These really should have been thinned, but I did not get to it in time. I do have to get in here and tie these. I wanted to order some more of this stuff, but it cost as much to ship it as it does for the material, and I can't find a secondary source for it that isn't so outrageous. Yeah, the vineyard looks just beautiful. I was planning on getting in here tomorrow and doing the pruning and tying, which I really, really need to do, but I'm going to have to tie with twine, which I don't want to do, because then it has to be taken off at some point. Even these rubber ones tend to girdle a bit. Yeah, like this. This should come off right here. The trunks need to be tied to, this is rebar pole here. They need to be tied to it until they're strong enough to stand up on their own. But I don't know, I think I'll leave the poles in here and just loosely tie them. But it also creates a place for disease to hide, and you don't want that either. So I don't know. With all the wind we have here, I think I'll just leave them in and tie these up. Alright, I did a ton of stuff in these woods here earlier, but this video is getting way long, so I think I'm going to go down to the end right here and then show you the back road behind the house and then wrap this up. Just got interrupted by the people dropping off the school lunches because of the COVID. This tree appears to be dead, one of the new ones, which is a big shame. This is one of the corners of our property, that T-post there, and I wanted a nice big tree right here. So if the trees I get for the top aren't needed, maybe one will go there. Okay, this was a jungle just a couple years ago, like over there, but actually worse. And now it is beautiful grass. Not the grass I want here quite yet, but it is beautiful grass, and you can see where something's making a path through it, which is just fine. There's the American chestnut. This was girdled, the original tree, and now it's finally back to the same size. It came back from the root, like 6 or 7 of them. I picked the best one, cut the other ones back off, and this is it. I did that the first year I was on YouTube, so there's a video of that, which I'll link above. Yeah, the horses were in here for a very long time, far too long. And they got this bit down like a golf course. And this rougher grass is where they poop. So Natalie's got to get in here and cut this all down to the same height. Otherwise, this rough area will just get really, really tall and won't be able to be cut without having huge piles of grass that kill the grass below it. So she's going to have to get down here and cut today. I don't know if I got this on video or not. I know I got the aftermath on video, but I had that big stump removed from over there. There was a walnut tree right there, and I got the ditch that ran along the road filled in last year, and I planted all this. This is all Kentucky bluegrass, and it will eventually look really nice, but it's still just on its second year, so can't expect too much. That walnut tree, there was several right over here. The roots actually messed with the vines for a few years. So some of the vines towards the end here do really bad, and then if you dig them out, you'll find the root going right underneath them. All right, I'll show this as well. This is the clematis that I just transplanted 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks now, but it's getting close to the top and starting to spread out. It's a very light color, but I don't know if that's its natural color. I'm going to have to go look at the one that's in the back there and see if the colors are about the same. I mean, it may be sickly. I mean, it may have transplant shock, and I would expect that, but it really doesn't seem to be shocked very much, which is a good thing. Upper vines, we had one die this last winter, but you can see that it's coming back from the root. I don't know if I'm going to keep it or not. I might just take it out. I mean, all I have to do is cut the vine off right there and then just train that back up. But I might just put another clematis there and then have vine, clematis, vine, clematis. I don't know. Buffalo grass. We have a cat in by the blueberries. Cat right there. Cat right there. And a dog. I have 4 pets with me. Here's the buffalo grass. It's doing pretty well. I think I burned it a little bit with 2,4-D, but I don't think that killed it. I think I just burned it a little bit, and that's fine. It just had a mass of weeds in there, and I wanted to get rid of them. So I think once I trim this stuff, it'll be just fine. Yeah, that doesn't look good down there. But it is what it is. This area looks just beautiful. This is where Natalie and I cleared earlier. And that's the area I cleared right after that. And here's our road, which just got cut yesterday. Watch out, cat. And if you haven't seen the other videos, this is going to be kind of sparse like this, because we're way down into the clay right here. This is like pure clay, and I'm going to need to add gypsum every spring and fall for 3-4 years, and this will turn back into topsoil and grass will grow just fine. We had the same thing. The whole yard was that way. We have clay that's maybe 6 inches under the surface, so if you do any kind of she's messing with the wrong cat again. That's the cat that does not like to play. Well, she kind of does, but she's a lot tougher than the other ones. Jeez, I got animal war. I got 2 fighting over here, 2 fighting over here. So I think I'll leave this for another video. I'll take a walk through all the back areas in a different video. This is getting kind of long. But at the end of the year last year, that's when we had this road put in. It goes from that Bigfoot tree that way, comes all along here, and connects with all the other roads down there. And eventually it'll be used for riding, for Natalie to ride her horses. And we could drive the gator on it and get at things and stuff. The Oak Savanna project is looking... You animals! Try to leave the cats alone for a little while. The Oak Savanna project is looking fantastic, and a little bit later we're going to take out the rest of these small trees and stuff in the middle here, and that'll open it all up and it'll look more like this. But this needs all the little trees taken out too, but to a lesser extent than this. Looking really good back here though. And I just planted grass all back here. Again, it's perennial rye, and it's only going to be here until we add on to the addition here. And the same thing on the side of this hill and the side of that hill. I planted perennial rye, which is the same as this stuff, and it's going to look just like this. It's only going to be there until I put the wood shop / guest apartment there. And our black oak, which I trimmed over the winter, looking pretty nice. This had the natural look and it went right to the ground, and we just couldn't have that right here, so I had to prune the lower branches off. Kind of a shame, but it is what it is. I should mention this. Natalie's got to get out here and cut this today. She should have cut it when she did this, but it was probably a bit too damp. If you don't keep these cut, then the grass just gets so tall that it's nearly impossible to cut. So she'll have to get out here today and cut this. And again, I just tossed this seed. The perennial rye is real easy to seed with. Okay, and then we have our veggie garden stuff, which is not doing that great, but it's going in the ground. I don't know, I'll probably till that garden under later tonight when it cools down, or possibly early tomorrow and get this stuff in. And then we have the grapes, which I'll put in as well. And this is stuff that is probably not going to make it. It's mostly prairie drop seed that got caught in that heat wave. All of a sudden the sun came out of the clouds while I was planting, and it went from like 70 something or 80 something to over 100 in here for a couple hours, and I didn't even think about it. I went in there and everything was kind of like it is now. It was kind of a disaster, but we'll get over it. These are peppers that are just not going anywhere. Those are hanging baskets, so I might have to get some other flowers for these and get them planted. This is the buffalo grass, which is doing fantastic. It's going to need some water, and I'm going to put it in the shade because it's going to be too hot for it today. I almost learned that lesson. And here's the prairie drop seed. I should have left the stuff that I potted, I should have left it in here, and it would be really nice like this, but I do have tons of it in the ground, and as you've seen, a lot of it's doing really well. So it's a very big plant when it's done, so the stuff I have in the ground is plenty right now. That's actually my biggest plant. That was the first one transplanted, and I got to keep that alive until I can get it in the ground. And then finally, we have our little foal Frankie. All right, and if you're a regular here, you've probably seen our little foal Frankie. Hi, Frankie baby. Hi, sweetheart. When we got her, she looked kind of terrible. She had most of her winter coat still on, and it's getting hot, and she had her baby fur on, which, you know, she would have shed all that stuff at some point anyways, but it was itchy. She was biting herself, and so Natalie's come out and brushed her every day, a couple times a day sometimes, and got most of that stuff off. And now you can start to see her chocolate colors. She is a chocolate Palomino and is just going to be gorgeous when she gets bigger, once her coat starts coming in. But for now, she still looks a little bit ratty, but she is a very sweet horse. In the other videos you can see, oh, they're in the community section though, so you have to look in the community section.
Look at your cat.
Yeah, I know. She's been wanting me to pet her. She's been following me around, but I just can't do it right now. She rests her head on Natalie's lap, and she's a very nice horse, very sweet horse. Okay, I'm going to have to wrap this video up. It's starting to get hot already, and it's only maybe 7:30 or so?
7:45.
7:45. All right, so if you want to see the progress on our little horsey here, or any of the other stuff, make sure you subscribe and click on the update icon. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you put them in the comment section below. And if you share the video and or give it a like, it helps us out greatly. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.